Let's see. Do a video on this Lee loader right here. It was given to me by a friend of the family. His brother had passed on. Just going to demonstrate how you can load stuff, some of this old-timey stuff you find. If you see it, the price on this was $11.98, and I'm not sure when it was bought, but it's for .357 Magnum. Kit comes with everything you see here. It has a priming chamber, decapping chamber, flaring tool, sizer die, some rods to help you do it. It even comes with a scoop. If you're familiar with the Lee scoops, there's a little chart, measures out your powder, gets you close. So I've got some here I've done in various stages using this. These right here, they've got the primers in them. They're ready for flaring. I've got some here that I've already knocked the primers out. I've got a few in the box right here. Knock the primers out of these. Kind of show you how it works and how it does. It has your decapping chamber right here. Basically, it holds everything up. Let's get everything out. Or I can do it. All right, easiest way to do it. Take your brass, set it on there. Take your decapping rod. It looks just like a normal decapping pin. Slides down in there. Give it a couple of little taps with the plastic side of the hammer. Not very hard. Just lightly tap it just enough to push the primer out. Deprimed. I mean, that right there would be a pretty simple, pretty straightforward process. It just takes some time. I mean, I guess if it was in a pinch, this would be a great way to do things. Do one more and then we'll move on to sizing. Alright. Now sizing is a little more difficult. The instruction says use paraffin wax. I've got some Lyman case lube, Hornady one shot, whatever, would work. Basically, the instructions tells you to put it down in there and basically take a plastic mallet or a wooden mallet. You just drive it down into the die. And once you're down in there, it's full length sized. Now, you'll take your priming chamber, which is a little kind of a spring loaded, got a little dent in it right there, a little dimple. You got some primers right here. We'll just set the primer right there. Set the body over the top of it. And grab the long straight rod, priming rod, body, whatever you want to call it. Priming rod is what it's called in the book. Now, you're having to basically remove it from the full length side and seat the primer, and you'll feel it when it actually stops. It'll flush that primer up. Then what you want to do is take it to the priming chamber and go ahead and remove it the rest of the way out. Like I said, I'm not hitting it hard. I'm just lightly tapping it with a small hammer, just enough to kind of get it to push out. Alright, so this one's primed. Primed, ready to go. Now, we'll move on to a flaring tool. It comes with a little tool that'll flare the cases. We'll set it in this. Take our flaring tool. Give it a little tap. Gives it a nice little flare, just like everything else. Just like we always do. Now, with it in this, we've got some. We'll move on to some that I've already got the powder in it. These have already been flared. Powder's in them. Seats down in here. You'll set your sizer die back over the top of it. Excuse me, let me put the bullet in first. Put the bullet in. Put this on. Now, I've already seated a few and I've already adjusted them. And I'll show you how it works. Like I said, I've already adjusted. You loosen this lock nut up right here. You can adjust this rod up and down. This will actually stop on that body and it'll set it where it needs to go. It's real straightforward. Set it down on there and basically just pound your bullet in. When it gets down there, touches. Bullet needs just a little more. Apparently I didn't go deep enough. That's seated, it pushed it right to the wax. It's right there to my crimp groove. And then what I'll do is it sets on the other side, set it right there, give it a little tap, and that'll put a nice little roll crimp on it. And that one's ready to load.